I'm like, what do we compete with on TV on Wednesday nights at 8:30? And on TV 30? Okay.
Hey, Nicole, how many people won the swag bag on our team? Jim, we were just finishing watching the conference, and Jim won a swag bag.
Oh, he did. That's
So
awesome.
did Anita. Does Anita know?
Did Anita? Yeah.
Yeah, her name was on there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Watch the mail. It's coming in the mail.
Woo.
Yay. Okay, guys, we're gonna get started. Looks like Nikki's already got us here in presentation mode. Good stuff. Okay. Are we live at all, Nikki, in the Facebook group, or do you have to post it?
I have it recording and not in the Facebook group. If you want to go to Facebook, I think you have to do it because you logged in before me. So I don't have access
That's fine.
to
You
it.
can just drop the recording. That's okay. We'll get started. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are having an awesome week. We, of course, have an amazing special guest speaker that Melissa Hyde is going to be introducing in a sec here. But before we jump on, I just want to say hello and welcome to any new team members that might be joining us today for the first time. If you are, just maybe put in the chat button and we will love on you hard. And yeah, it's always so exciting to see new faces and new team. I think we've got close to 30 new team members that have already joined us for the month of November, and we're only halfway through. So that's so awesome to see. So I don't want to take up too much time tonight because we do have mindset training tonight. But what I did want to do for you guys is thank you, Nikki Webb. She's our amazing personal assistant. She keeps us updated on all of the events. And what I want to do is just quickly show you the back half of November, just to make sure that you guys are on top of all the amazing events that we do have for you. So tomorrow night, I am doing my Do You Have the Guts to Be Healthy talk. I'm going to be diving into how gut health is related to mental health, immune health, and allergies. So that's tomorrow at 9. For those that have any connections in Israel, we have the conference this Sunday. I'm also doing the Shred event on Sunday as well. So I will be doing actually the full Shred presentation that I typically do on Sunday with the twist with Deck the Halls with Shakes and Balls focus for December. As well, on the 24th, we've got the diabetes talk. Yay, so excited for that. That's Sean, Susan Baker, and Samantha. We also have a nurses call panel on mental health. We have the cancer talk with special guest Alyssa. And Alyssa teaches the cancer program at the Edison Institute. So she will be Angela's special guest. And then we're going to close off November with some fun. I'm going over to Melissa Hyde's house. We are going to deck the halls with Shakes and Balls. And we are going to have a ball making party for guests. So you can actually, all of your, let's say, new customers and prospects that are joining our December shred, which is around, you know, making shakes and having fun and, you know, daily posts, we really encourage you guys to invite them on so they can feel our community. It's like almost having like a ball party at your house, but we're doing it online in Zoom. Nikki, she's got the flyer here. And of course, you guys know that all of our flyers, you can just click on it and it takes you to our Team B Facebook page where you can download all of the flyers. The great thing that Nikki has done is she actually has a really nice custom invite. And I believe, Nikki, you've already posted that in Team B. And the custom invite is for your prospects to know which ball recipes we are making so that they can actually be prepared with the actual ingredients so that they can do the recipes that we're teaching. Nikki, where exactly did you post that? Because I'm sure I'm going to get that question.
I'll try to put it in albums. If I can't get it in there because it's a PDF, I'll just do it in files.
Okay.
And
perfect.
I can link it here too, just to make it easier.
Okay, awesome. So that's all I wanted to focus on, is just making sure you guys are on top of all of the beautiful flyers. I also just want to do a big shout out to our men on the call. Thank you, men, Jim and Brad, and Doug Barlow, for hosting the men's call. So proud of you guys for getting out of your comfort zone. We had 13 people, I think, on the call, and that men's call is growing every month. So keep up the great work. It's so nice to see our brave men stepping forward and sharing this amazing opportunity. So on that note, I'm going to stop chatting, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to let Melissa Hyde take over and introduce our amazing special guest.
Thanks, Nicole. Guys, you are in for such a treat. I am so thrilled to have Christie on here. I don't know how long I've known her, a long time, but the most fun I've ever had with Christie is when she arranged for all of us to go indoor flying. Have you guys done that? You absolutely have to do it. It was so much fun. It was so wild. So in addition to her sense of adventure, she loves to travel. She is living in Hawaii. Don't we all want to be there? That's where she works. It's crazy. She's got a big pooch right behind her. He's so cute. Not supposed to be on the bed, but he is. She told me yesterday when we were talking. And she is a Reiki master, which I think you guys could probably guess as soon as you hear her talk. She's just so calm and inspiring. And she is also a rest instructor. So she's one of the girls that has been teaching Nicole and I for the last 4 months. And we're going to continue to study with her as we're doing the advanced. So she is definitely one of my first choices to have to help share mindset with all you guys. So tune in. I'm going to tune it over to Chris. Oh, and of course, she's also an NMD with Juice Plus, but you guys probably knew that already. So I'm going to turn it over to Christie.
Thank you, friend. I love it. Thank you so much. It's been the past 4 months working with Melissa and Nicole has been so amazing. So I'm like, oh, I get to see you guys again. It's just so nice that I get to see your faces weekly. But also, as I hear more about you guys and Shining Stars, and I'm like seeing all these names since I'm doing the GoPro stuff. I'm like, oh, I know that person. I know that person. So thank you guys for all just gathering and getting ready to end 2020 strong with us. So last night, speaking of GoPro, I was listening to day 7, and I think you probably can't watch it now, but it was that free challenge that just happened. And John Maxwell was talking, he's written 80 to 90 books on leadership. I'm sorry, just like that is a big amount of books to be writing on, but on one topic that's huge. And he said something so obvious, but it was like this light bulb moment where I was like, I got to write that down. I have to share that with you guys. And he said, the greatest difference between successful and unsuccessful people is mindset. Now I know that, but it was so obvious that I was like, I never even taught on that before. So, and it made me think about, like, I just heard how many new team members you guys brought in this past November. So I want to say, first of all, welcome, congratulations. But I also want to say, if you haven't experienced it yet, there is a tendency when you join network marketing, there can be this spotlight that shines on your insecurities. And if it hasn't yet, that's wonderful. And I don't want to burst your bubble, and I don't want you to be fearful of when it does. I want you to honor when that happens, because it's a moment of growth. So those of you who are showing up or watching the replay and making these calls, the fact that you're showing up is really good, because you haven't this is not the easy way. Okay. A lot of people think that when you own a business that it's the easy way. In some ways it is, because we have a tried and proven system, and Eric Worre talks about these 7 skills, these 7 steps, but in between these 7 steps, there's a spotlight that's going to shine on your insecurity somewhere, somehow, and how you deal with it is everything, not just in your business, but in your life. And I started thinking about it. Like I used to think that when you become a national marketing director, everything becomes easier. And there's really great things that come with it, like indoor skydiving with other NMDs, and like all these really good things, but sometimes you're going to take a hit. And I want you to welcome that hit. Like truly welcome it, because it's this moment where you're sitting in the SHIT, you're there, you're feeling it. And it's this moment where you have the opportunity to rise above. You have this moment to think of it. How is this going to impact me to become a better version of myself so that I can serve more? And this past year I had someone who I trusted say, you're just not our leader. You're not our leader anymore. And it crushed me. I didn't want to show up for calls. I thought everybody in the world didn't like me. It was like all this itty bitty shitty committee that was completely on my shoulders. It was telling me all these things that, like, if I really said it out loud, if I was like, you're not a terrible leader, okay? You're just not their leader. Like, maybe congratulations that you've given them enough to like go off of and be better. Like, maybe I've given them a chance to like go find their way, but instead it was all about me. So I just want to say, like, even though I'm talking about mindset, I'm nowhere near perfect. It's just I found some really good tools that help me continue to go along. So think about this when that light shines on your insecurities. Lights are cool. Like, the bat signal is really cool. Who doesn't want to follow the bat signal when they see it on TV? You know, like we followed one in real life, and we made it to like this really awesome store where we bought way too many things. So like it totally attracted us. Like, and also like it's the moth to a flame. Thinking about the moth to a flame, you being that light means that other people want to be around you. And what I let happen to me is I let my light dim. And I don't want you to let your light dim. That's a really big shift in your entire life, and it's not worth it. It's not worth living with your light just at half. You know, you want it full powered. So one of the things, because we've talked about rest, one of the things is rest has actually helped me significantly in that scenario. And you guys have two really awesome rest practitioners. I've worked with both of them. They're amazing. And they're going through the advanced course. So there's going to be things that they're going to be working on for assignments and stuff. So I would utilize this opportunity to help just allow things that are holding you back get removed. And rest is one of these things that's like, maybe you didn't realize this, but the entire reason why you are operating the way you're operating right now is because of some childhood experience that maybe somebody took your lollipop away and you were not soothed. No one said, it's okay, we'll get you another one. That's just how things happen. That situation could actually be impacting how you're operating now and what's holding you back. So you have rest as an opportunity, but I also want to show you guys some other tools that you can use with you in your back pocket. I love tools. They're like the greatest things to put in there. So as we continue to talk about mindset, I want to say, like, thinking, but you raise your hand if you've heard your thoughts create your reality. And doesn't it suck sometimes to actually think that that's true? Like, if you've ever had, like, when there's some really good times where you're really high on like life and you're like, yeah, I created this. And then when you're in the dumps, you're like, no, I didn't create this. Like, how great is the human to be able to just go blame it on someone else? The reason I'm not happy today is because somebody served me the wrong meal and they just totally stole my joy. So it's true. The thoughts create our reality. There is a powerful universe, field of potential, God, whatever you want to call it, that truly can heal you and that you are truly designing your life. The problem is we just don't believe it. We do not believe that everything can actually be better. Sometimes we don't believe that we can actually be cured of something. Sometimes we just want to sit in that story so that we can have something to complain about. So we really have to realize that even when we have our positive thoughts, we can be going against our disempowering programming, the things that have happened to us since we were children. And one of the most fastest effective ways is to overcome it is through rest, but there's also and repetition. You know, how many of you guys have done an affirmation when you heard it, you're like, that sounds so good. And then all of a sudden you're reading it and you really kind of feel like it's actually not true about yourself. Like, I can't do that. So maybe it's like, I love making $20,000 a month. And then maybe there's this voice that says, no, you may love it, but you really can't do it. There's a repetition about that as you know, the more you say it, the more you can begin to believe it. And if you more than likely have done the lemon meditation with me, but we're going to do it again because I totally feel repetition is good. And I want you to realize that you truly have the power to change your thoughts. So even if you've done this exercise before, notice how you respond this time around. So everybody close your eyes with me, humor me. Okay. I want you to imagine that you're in your kitchen. Feel the floor underneath your feet. Do you have your socks on? Is the floor cold? Do you have a heated floor where you're at? Notice the surroundings. What's the temperature feel like on your body? Notice your refrigerator. Open that door. Feel that blast of cold air hit you. And notice where your lemons are stored. Pull out the drawer, pull the lemon out. Feel the cold feeling of that lemon on top of your hand. You maybe even notice that it's super heavy with juice. Bring it over to your cutting board. Slice that thing in half And then notice how the two pieces fall away from one another. Pick up one part of the lemon, bring it up to your mouth, open your mouth, and squeeze that entire half of the lemon on top of your tongue. Notice how it's cold, sour. Just feel it. Now open your eyes and raise your hand if you salivated. I mean, every time I just say the lemon meditation, I'm like Pavlov's dog and I'm already starting to drool. Like, that is remind yourself, anytime you have something that you're doubting yourself on, remember that the brain doesn't know the difference between real and fake. And you need to quickly, I'm talking quickly, change your mindset right away and maybe think of 3 good things that you are able to do. You know, if you don't truly believe, maybe you're going for NMD. Maybe if you truly don't believe that you can do it, instead, imagine what it must feel like to be it, as if it's already happened. What's it feel like to be at conference and to be able to like see your team on the stage below you who have helped you achieve this position? Look into their eyes. Can you not feel that excitement and that like energy and that love, even if it hasn't even happened to you yet? It's all about the feelings. Your body can feel any type of emotion, any type of feeling like that. You just have to call upon it. So you want to be the bringer of the good energy and the good feels, okay? All right, so that's, just remember the lemon meditation. Clarity. One of the other reasons why we don't believe that our thoughts create our reality is because we just don't have enough clarity. How many of you guys have heard of SMART goals before? I'll be honest, sometimes I just don't like doing them because I don't feel like going through the whole process. But though, if we don't go through the process, if we don't fully picture what it is that we truly want, then we're lacking clarity. And sometimes it's easier to know what we don't want than what it is that we do want. So if that's where you need to be, to think, if you're going to compare, 2021 is right around the corner, and I'm sure we're very excited about that, but COVID's probably not going anywhere for a while. So how are you going to build upon your 2021? This is where you want to get specific, and we got to stop being wishy-washy about this. We need to have those crystal clear intentions. So I'm going to put it like this. Imagine that your house is on fire right now and you are calling the fire department and you're like, hi, yeah, my house is on fire. I need somebody here as quickly as possible. Imagine if you were like, yeah, my house is on fire, but you know what? If it's not a good time for you right now, that's okay. Just come when you can. No, you need clarity. You know exactly what you want and need in that moment. And that's the approach that you want to be able to have. So then when you do have the itty bitty shitty committee showing up on your shoulder, you have that clarity to remind yourself of what it feels like to be in that moment of success, what it feels like to be leading a team, or whatever it is that you want. We've got to plug in to make sure that that happens. Now, I have an energy experiment that I want to leave you guys with, okay? It's called The Dude Abides, and I got it from this book called E2. And E2 is 9 do-it-yourself energy experiments that prove that your thoughts actually create your reality. And I can send a screenshot to this to you, Melissa, so you can share. But all you have to do, and I'm gonna read this part to you, is spend 2 measly days expecting to see proof that something is going to happen, okay? So it could be anything. And I'll show you, like you can, I don't know if you can see my writing on here or not, but I did, I actually wrote in the book. And this was back in 2018. And I think about this exercise all the time. And I think, why don't I do this every single day? Why don't I set this clarity? So the idea is that there's this theory that there's this invisible energy force field of infinite possibilities. And it's yours for the asking. People say, just send it out to the universe. Well, this is kind of a send it out to the universe thing. This could be the same translation as, this is a prayer out to God, to your creator. The book calls it the field of potential. And your question is, does this really exist? Can I really manifest something? So here's the hypothesis. If there's really a 24/7 energy force equally available to all of us, there is no bias, I can access it at any time simply by paying attention. Furthermore, if I ask the force for a blessing, giving it a specific time frame and clear intentions, it'll send me a gift. It's my pleasure. So I want you to imagine, and again, I'm going to send this to Melissa, what is that gift? So imagine that someone's going to give you some sort of gift in the next 48 hours. You don't have to be like someone's going to drive up with a sporty red Porsche. you know, it could be if you want to be specific, but really just expect a gift and what it feels like to be receiving that gift. Like, how does it feel when somebody's like, oh, I thought of you? So you have 48 hours and you want to write it down. You're going to put today's date and the time that it is that you set this, and the deadline to receiving the gift is 48 hours later. And this is the approach is, I hate to break it to you, Field of Potential, but folks are starting to talk. They're starting to wonder, is this guy for real? I mean, really, like, it's be so much skin off your chin to come down here and call off this crazy hide and seek thing you've been playing. I'm giving you exactly 48 hours to make your presence known. I want a thumbs up, a clear sign, something that can be written off, that can be written off as a coincidence, that cannot be written off as a coincidence. And then your research notes. So your research notes are going to be what happened. And at this time, I had a friend who was visiting, and she's not a gift giver. I didn't tell her I was reading this book, and nor did I set the intention that she was going to give me a gift. I thought if anybody's going to give me a gift, it's not going to be her. I'm not kidding you. I set the intention at 8:25 a.m. By 1 p.m., she comes in and she brings me like all sorts of my favorite smoothie recipes and like gifts from like shopping around our little town where I live. And I was like, what are you doing? Why did you do this? She's never her entire life given me a gift. I was like, this shit works. So it's kind of fun to just think about like, what if you just get playful and just think about what you want? The idea is too, though, is, and I got this from The Secret. The idea is put it out there what you want. And it's not just like, okay, I just put it out there. You got to fully feel the feeling of what it's like as if it's already happened. Like, drench your body in gratitude and appreciation. And imagine what it's like when someone hands something to you. But there's also this sense where I was watching The Secret on Netflix, and there was this woman on there who was talking about how she wanted to find her soulmate. She bought a house that was big enough for her and her soulmate to create a family. She had like this, she had done everything. She was doing affirmations. She was taking care of herself. She was visualizing herself being with this lifelong partner. And then she starts working with someone who's like a mindset expert. And they said, well, I noticed when I pulled up to your house, your car was parked in the middle of the garage. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, and then I went up to your bedroom and I noticed that all of your closet was full of all your stuff. You have no space for someone to be in your house. You have all of your like drawers are full. There's no place for anyone to put any of their things. So you're saying you want all those things, but you're not actually proving that you want it. So sometimes it's like, what is that one thing that I should be doing that shows the universe, the field of potential, God, you actually want something. So I'm watching this, and all of a sudden I realized, this is before we moved back to Hawaii. We were living in North Carolina. All of our stuff was in storage. Like the military had all of our stuff in storage, but we had this one storage unit that had just some random crap. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, we need to clear out our storage unit. I need to show, this sounds crazy, but I was like, I need to show the universe that I'm serious, that I really want to move to Hawaii. So we cleaned out our storage unit, and it's spotless. I remember like pushing the broom out and getting all the dust, and I slammed the door shut and I go, you see, I'm showing you I'm ready to go to Hawaii. And I felt crazy saying it, but I'm not kidding you. 2 days later, everything came together and we moved to Hawaii last minute. Sometimes you just got to figure out what in your habits are you not doing so that you can show that you're really serious. What in your habits shows that you're ready to receive this gift that someone's going to go give you in the next 48 hours. Are you open up to it? Are you warm? Are you friendly? Are you smiling at them? Do you seem approachable that someone wants to give you a gift? And how do you receive those gifts? Makes a big difference. The last thing I want to end with is Hooponopono. So, gosh, you guys, I love books, and I love activities that I can actually put to test. So if you're looking for another book, this is a really good one. Hooponopono is a Hawaiian healing that you can use, and it's really simple. And the background is we had this mental ward here in Hawaii, and Ihaliakala Hulen was a psychiatrist. And the ward hired him because in this ward, in this hospital, they had a mental ward, and all these inmates there had done horrendous things. So we're talking like murderers, rapes, like you name it. There's some pretty bad, mentally unstable people in this area. when they walked down the halls with the inmate, they had to have 2 people walking with them with their arms shackled because they would reach out and try and scare people. They would never be able to be on the grounds. Grass wasn't growing. The tennis courts were just all grown over. Paint didn't even stick to the walls there. Like, all the staff was super unhappy being there. They'd take their vacation days to like be home and never at work. So they bring this guy in, Ihaliakala Hulen, and he says, I'll work with your clients, with the inmates, but I'm not going to physically sit with them. We're never going to know each other. And they're like, okay, crazy. How's this going to work out? So they get him a desk, and he sits with their files. He sits with the person's files, and he looks at all the things that they've done, and he does this ancient Hawaiian healing. And it's simple. It's, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And it's so simple that I thought, oh, Becky, I see you shaking your head over there. Yeah. It's so simple. And at first, my ego, probably about this far into the book, had to get past the fact that I am apologizing for something that I didn't do. Like, so the idea is Hugh Len is apologizing to this person who stole someone else's life. And he's saying, I'm sorry that I was responsible for you taking someone's life. It took me a lot to get over this because I was like, we didn't even know each other. But he kept cleaning. The idea is if you keep cleaning what's inside you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. He was able to do this, and in 4 years' time, the ward doesn't exist anymore. Paint started sticking on the walls. Staff was playing tennis with the unshackled clients, and they were getting placed into different areas so that they could better their life. So if a man can sit with some folders and say 4 phrases over and over again and send good things out to the universe, what can you do with your own life and your own success and your own mindset that even if that itty bitty shitty committee shows up on your shoulder, you can just Hooponopono that thing. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Yeah, the book is called Zero Limits by Joe Vitale. And if you wanted to know about the E2, it's Pam Grout. She actually has an E3 too. So there's like more science experiments to do with energy work. So that is all I have. I know you guys have like 2 minutes left. So is there any questions that I can quickly cover? Clarifications?
That was so good, Christy. Was there another book you mentioned right at the beginning? Someone was asking.
Oh yeah, probably Train Your Brain for the lemon exercise. I didn't have time to go into the science because there's a really cool science part about the basketball players, but you just want to look for it, or I can send a Voxer or something. But I love how it backs up how your brain doesn't know the difference between real and fake.
I loved it. I wish we could talk for 3 more hours. You have so many amazing tips, and it's like, no, wait, tell me more.
I know, it's really hard to narrow down.
Oh my goodness. Like so much and so many useful things to do right away, but it was like, no, tell me more. I want more. I want more. It was amazing. It was so good. And yeah, my cheeks, I've done that lemon thing with you. And every time I'm like, oh my God, here I go again. And the itty bitty shitty committee, I'm still laughing. That is the funniest thing I have ever heard. And it's so true. They're just itty bitty and they're just shitty. It's so good.
Like,
love it.
Off, you know?
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. We'd love to have you on again. Maybe we can do a longer one. Who wants a longer time with Christy next time?
I would love a longer workshop. Yes, let's do it.
So good. Thank you so much, Christy. So appreciate that. I think everyone absolutely loved it. There were smiles and lots of comments. So good. Yeah, so powerful, so great. You're awesome, Christy. And on it goes, and lots of thank yous. Good stuff. Yeah, thanks so much. And thanks to all the team for making our call a priority and for tuning in. I hope you caught all those events that are going on. There's more coming all the time. Team is amazing, just doing their own calls now. So keep checking that events tab on our team website page. And right now, I'm going to stay on and go through the new rep call for anyone that wants to stay on with new reps, or you just want to talk to me.